I asked our tax commissioner to look at the number of Vermonters that we have in this great state who've made $500,000 a year or more than once over the last 9 years. And I said more than once because occasionally someone sells a home or something, something extraordinary happens which really pops their income. You know, it might surprise you to know when we talk about taxing all those rich Vermonters, the number is right around 200. 200 Vermonters made $500,000. You know, you'd find that down in Fairfield County, Connecticut, 2 streets in Greenwich. I mean, folks, we're not talking about many people. Now, I had a call from someone in my family recently who won't identify, who went to their favorite restaurant recently out of state, run by someone who lives in Vermont. They were disappointed to know that, I know this person has a very successful business, but they've just chosen to go to 6 months and a day in Florida because there's no income tax there. So when my family member asked why, they said because, you know, we're doing well and we don't want to pay Vermont's income tax. So that goes from 200 to 199. I mean, folks, we could draw up a list here if we tried. If I grabbed Representative Olson from his neck of the woods up there near the ski country Stratton, myself, you from Chittenden County, I bet we could come up with a list of 200 Vermonters, former Vermonters, who we think made close to $500,000 a year, who don't live here anymore. So I'm just giving you my pragmatic business sense, good old common sense, which I hope is why Vermonters elected me. My job is to keep those 200 people in Vermont and grow the base. Now, if we came back in 2 years and there were 400 of them, we would be having a revenue challenges right now. So let's grow the base. Let's keep the customers we have and grow the base. Somewhere around 9%, folks, you lose them. You go other places.
This theory, though, is based entirely on anecdotal evidence that you've gotten from.
Well, I don't think it's anecdotal, but there's only a couple hundred of them over the last 9 years.
So you're suggesting there were more 9 years ago? That there
I'm
were more people
suggesting that Vermont has the most progressive income tax in the country, and we should be proud of it. But if we make it more progressive than it currently is, and more progressive again than everybody else, we're going to lose customer share. When you're a business person, all you think about is, how do I keep my current customers and grow more? I think that's how we should go about it. I think the plan that Ann is referring to is pretty likely to minimize our customer base.
Right, that seems to be your singular basis for rejecting this idea of higher income taxes. Well, I'm just trying to be clear, though, that that's your feeling stems from conversations that you have with other people, your gut feeling as a businessman, not as any data that you've seen.
Well, I've seen the data, but we don't have very many of these people that we're talking about. That's what I keep saying. When we talk about the wealthiest income taxpayers in Vermont, you know, I think people think that there are thousands of them out there, you know, driving around in Rolls Royces and living on Lake Champlain or whatever. All I'm telling you is the evidence doesn't tell us that.
Do you have data that show that there were more of them, say, 10 years ago?
No, I don't. What I can tell you is that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Well,
that's the argument that's often made.
Left because of the taxes, as opposed to your one restaurant tour, which is an anecdote.
You can't convince me that the example that I just gave is not a trend. I believe that there are a lot of Vermonters, successful Vermonters, entrepreneurs, who as soon as they can file income taxes in either New Hampshire or Florida or other states that don't have income taxes because they don't have to pay income taxes. And you know, a lot of them, some of them have said to me, I'll pay something. I'd even pay the rate they've got down in Massachusetts, 5%. That's their top rate. But when you get me up to 8, 9, you know, I'm just not going to do it. I mean,